Hello friends, welcome to my channel Echo Aftab. So friends, in my today's series of Understanding Economics with Aftab, I have come with a new topic with regard to mathematics. As I had told in my previous class when I was teaching about exponents, that the next topic will be functions and equations. But before functions and equations, we shall try to understand one more small topic, and that is called as polynomials. So friends, myself Aftab Bhai, welcome to this class on polynomials. So before understanding what is polynomials, let us try to understand the meaning of few basic concepts such as variable, coefficient and exponent. Exponents we have understood in the previous class, so here we limit ourselves to variable and coefficient. So if there is an expression such as 5x cube, so in this expression 5x cube, x is a variable because it can assume any value. X can be 1, x can be 2, x can assume any value. Because of that it is called as variables. Variables refers to those things whose value keeps on changing. And the next is phi. Phi is referred to as the coefficient of x. So here, along with a variable, whatever number is there, that number is called as coefficient. So here phi becomes the coefficient of x. And lastly, 3 is the exponent of x. So here friends, we have understood what do you mean by variable. Variable is the unknown factor, that is x, and along with x, the number that we are having phi, it is called as coefficient, and 3, that is x to the power 3, is called as exponent of x. Next is monomials. What are monomials? Expressions consisting of a real number or of a coefficient times one or more variables raised to the power of a positive integer are called monomials. So if you look at all the dark shaded words over here, such as real number, coefficient, variables and power of and raised to the power of a positive integer, all these things will be clear with this example. So here in this example, the first example is 45. So what is this friends 45? When you speak about the first example 45, this 45 is our real number. So a monomial can be a real number, or else it can be coefficient multiplied by one or more variables. So here we are having the coefficient phi. So friends, this is a coefficient phi and x is our one variable. So coefficient multiplied by one variable, or you can say coefficient multiplied by 1 and 2 variables. And lastly, the variables can be raised to the power of a positive number. So here our variable x is raised to power of 1, which is need not be written. P is raised to power of 1, q is raised to power of 1. Similarly, in the last example, this 15 is our coefficient, this y is our variable, and this 3 is our positive exponent. So this is what is the meaning of monomials. So monomials can be real numbers, or else it can be coefficient multiplied with one or more variables, and also it can have, the variables can have positive integer to its power. So with this we understood what are monomials. Next, polynomials. The title of our today's class is polynomials. So what do you mean by polynomials? Friends, when monomials can be added or subtracted, then we get polynomials. So monomials can be added or subtracted to form polynomials. So polynomial comes from poly meaning many and nomial here it means term. So polynomial refers to many terms. Each of the monomials comprising a polynomial is called as term. In the previous example, whatever we saw 2pq and all those things, they are the different terms. They are also the monomials. So how does a polynomial looks like? A polynomial, for example, is something like this: 5xy square plus 5x plus 5. So friends, this is a polynomial. So in this polynomial, what all things do we have? So here we are having the three terms. Which are the three terms? The first term is 5xy square, the second term is 5x, and the third term is 5. So as we saw, what do you mean by monomials? A monomials can be a positive real number, it can be a coefficient multiplied by a variable, or else it can be the variable which is raised to the power of positive integer. So here in this example, friends, all these three forms to be different terms. First term is 5xy square, second term is 5x, and the third term is 5. So all these different terms together form a polynomial. So what a polynomial can have? A polynomial can have constants such as 3, -50, half, or any other number. Any number can be a polynomial, it can have. Next is a polynomial can have variables such as a, b, c, or you can say x, y, z. Okay, any alphabet which is an unknown is a variable. So polynomial can have any number of variables, and it can also have exponents. So the exponents here, friends, mind you, it can be all the positive numbers including 0. All positive numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, or any other number along with 0 can be in a polynomial. Remember friends, the exponents cannot be negative. Then what a polynomial cannot be? A polynomial cannot be divided by a variable. So here comes the main point. A polynomial cannot be divided by variable. So if you see here the example of polynomial, in this example I have written 1 upon x. So what is this 1 upon x? 1 divided by x. So this x is our variable. So here in polynomials we cannot have any variable which comes under the denominator. So cannot be divided by a variable. Next is a polynomial cannot have negative exponents. When I speak about polynomial, it cannot have negative exponents. So here if in this example you can see we are having this -3 which is in the negative form. So a polynomial cannot have negative exponents. And lastly friends, cannot have fractional component to a variable. It cannot have. So here what are the fractional component? If you see in this example, I am going to highlight it. You can see this half, it is 0.5. So this cannot be there in a polynomial. They cannot be a radical number. They cannot be root x, root y, root z. All these things are not possible. So if there is the polynomial is divided by a variable, it cannot be possible. A polynomial having a variable with negative exponent, it is not possible. A polynomial having an variable with fractional component, that is also not possible. So all these things are the points which says that these things cannot be a polynomial. Moving ahead, there are special names for polynomials with one term, with two terms, or three terms. What they are? So here 3xz cube, this is one term which is called as monomial. Here you can see there are two monomials, one is 6y and the other is 4. So 6y minus 4, because there are two terms, they are called as binomial. And here you can see 5x cube plus 3x minus 8. There are three terms, so they are called as trinomials. So if we take four terms, it is called as quadrilateral. So there are different names for the number of terms we are having, but basically if the number of terms exceeds more than 2 or more than 3, we call them polynomials. Moving ahead. So there are certain rules with regard to polynomial, with regard to the basic arithmetic. So rules for adding, subtracting, multiplying and dividing polynomials. The first rule is like terms in polynomials can be added or subtracted. Second rule is unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. Third rule is like and unlike terms can be multiplied and divided. And lastly, in multiplying two polynomials, each term in the first polynomial must be multiplied by each term in the second and their product should be added. This is what comes under the rules of polynomials. So let us see one by one with examples how these rules are applicable to polynomials. So let us start with our first case. Like terms in polynomials can be added or subtracted. Unlike terms cannot be added or subtracted. So let us start with our first example. So let us say I am speaking about like terms. If we are having an example such as first example 4x square plus 9x square. So can you solve this thing? Yes, because here you can see there is x square and there is x square. This x square and x square, they form to be our like terms. So here friends, this 4 plus 9, that is equal to 13x square. So this is what is the answer when we are having polynomials. So polynomials, as I told you all, we can add them or else we can also subtract them. Second example, if I say 25y square minus 10y square. So what will be the answer? 25 minus 10 is 15 and y square as it is. So here you can see polynomials can be the first case can be added and the second example polynomials can be subtracted. So similarly friends, if I take one more example with regard to polynomials, the third example. So here if I say 5x cube minus 7y square, can you solve these things? No. The reason is here x cube is there and here y square is there. This x cube and y square, they become the unlike terms, and unlike terms cannot be added or cannot be subtracted. So here friends, in this case, in this example of 5x cube minus 7y square, we cannot get any answer because it is not possible to subtract it. So this is the first and the second rule of polynomials. As it says, polynomials can be added or subtracted only when the terms are alike, but polynomials cannot be added or subtracted for unlike terms. Moving ahead, with regard to our next example, that is polynomials can be multiplied or it can be divided. So here friends, polynomials, multiplication and division. I'll take an example. So with regard to multiplication and division, first example, here let us say I am having 5x multiplied by 13y square. So here friends, when I am speaking about the variables, x is here and y is here. So both these variables are unlike terms. So but you can go on for multiplying these things. Why? How is it possible? It is possible because the rules of polynomials say 5 into 13 is 65 and x into y square as it is xy square. So this is an example where polynomials with unlike terms can be multiplied. One more example, if I say 6xy multiplied by 6x square z. So if you see this example, in this example 6 6 36, x into x square, x cube, and as it is y z. So here any number of polynomials can be easily multiplied with each other. So this is the case with regard to multiplication. Next we shall see with regard to division. So friends, when I take an example for division, example number 3. So let us say 4x square y raised to 5 and z raised to 3 the whole divided by 8x raised to 5 y raised to 3 and z raised to 4. So here we are seeing there are different monomials over here which can be divided to each other, and all these terms are not same to each other. So how is it possible for us to divide this thing? So I'll just change the color of the ink. So here friends, the first part is 4 divided by 8. So 4 divided by 8 is 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8. So the first term that we got is at the denominator 2. So this is equal to 2, and the next one is the next variable is x square divided by x raised to 5. So as we know in exponents, x square divided by x raised to 5, this can be written as x raised to 2 minus 5, that is equal to x raised to minus 3, or we can write it 1 upon x3. So this is what is, so 1 upon x cube. So this can be got it in simple way as we studied in the normal schools. X into x, this is x square, the whole divided by x into x into x into x into x. So in the denominator there are two x's, this x and this x gets cancelled, here this x and this x gets cancelled. What remains is x into x into x, and this is what is our x cube. Similarly friends, with regard to y raised to 5 divided by y raised to 3. Rules of exponents which we understood in the previous class. Y raised to 5 minus 3. So this is equal to y square, and that here you can see x cube and here y square. So this is what we are getting. So going ahead, I'm sorry, y square is at the numerator. And lastly, if we see the case with regard to z cube divided by z raised to 4. Again, rules of exponents, z raised to 3 minus 4, that is equal to z raised to minus 1. So it will be 1 upon z. So we will be having in our answer z at the denominator. So this is how we divide the polynomials. So 4x square y raised to 5 z cube divided by 8x raised to 5 y raised to 3 z raised to 4. The answer for that is y square divided by 2x cube z. So this is about multiplying polynomials. Let us move ahead, and our last rule is multiplying polynomials. For this, friends, I'll take an example. So if there are two polynomials, then how can we multiply those two polynomials? So here I'll take 6x plus 7y, this is a polynomial, multiplied by 4x plus 9y. So here, friends, these are two polynomials. So what do we need to do? So here we need to multiply each term in both the polynomials. So 6x multiplied by 4x, so that will give us 24x square. Then 6x multiplied by 9y, that will give us 54xy, and after that plus 7y into 4x, and that is 7 into 4, 28xy, and lastly 7y into 9y, and that is plus 63y square. After this, here we can see there are two like terms. So here 54xy and 28xy, these are the two like terms. So what we can do is we can add up these two like terms. So when we add this 54 plus 28, we will get 24x square plus 82xy plus 63y square. So friends, this is the way through which we can go on for multiplying two polynomials. So here, as the rule number 4 says, you need to multiply each term, and the like terms you need to add. So with this, I complete my rules of polynomials, and next we will be understanding about factoring polynomials. Factoring polynomials. So when you speak about factoring polynomials, what do you mean by factoring? Factoring reverses the process of polynomial multiplication in order to express a polynomial as a product of simpler polynomials called as factors. So if you go through the definition, it becomes very cumbersome for us to understand what it actually means is. So friends, in simple, factoring polynomials is a reverse process where we want to get what are the simpler polynomials because of which the polynomial was formed. This is what is factoring polynomials. So polynomials can be factored. We can factor monomials, we can factor binomials, and we can factor trinomials. So let us see how to go on for factoring polynomials. So here I'll take a simple example. If our polynomial is, let us say, our factor is 12. So in this case, how do we get this 12? What are the various ways through which we have got this 12? The first way is we have got this 12 with regard to 2 into 6, that is equal to 12. Another way through which we have got this 12 is, we can say, three into 4, this is also 12. So there are various ways through which we have got 12. So this is one way, or else I can also say 1 divided by 2, half into 24, this is also 12. So this is what is factoring. Factoring matlab reversing the process. So here, how did you get 12? We might got 12 by this way, or through this way, or through this way. There is one more thing, friends, we can know. 12, we can get 12 by simply multiplying 2 by 2, 4 by 3. This is also 12. Nothing beyond this we can do. So here, friends, this process is called as complete factorization. Next one is, this was with regard to factoring a monomial. Similarly, friends, we can go on for factoring a binomial. For example, 8x cube minus 24x square. So in this case, how can we factorize this binomial? So here we can take something called as the common factor, and this common factor should be the greatest common factor. So in this case, 8 is there, 8 ones are 8, 8 twos are 8 threes are. So yes, we can get this 8 ones are and this 8 threes are 24. So what I will do, and here there is x cube and there is x square. So the best way is take this x and this x square outside. What remains inside is x, and here minus 3. So friends, you can see, with the help of greatest common factor, we were able to factorize this binomials. So if you multiply this, again you are going to get back this thing. So 8x square into x will be 8x cube, 8x square into 3 will be 8 into 3, 24, and this x square as it is. So this is with regard to factoring our binomials. This is the binomial. Similarly, friends, we can also factorize a trinomial. And how is it possible to factorize a trinomial? So let us see here. So the last example, if I take an example such as 3x square plus 7x minus 6. So in this case, friends, you can see here, this is A, this is B, and this is C. So we want to know what are the values that we can get it for x. So first thing that we will do is we'll multiply A and C, because here the coefficient is 3, we are multiplying the coefficient 3 with the constant 6. So A into C is 3 multiplied by minus 6. So what we got is minus 18, and here B is 7. So B is 7. So you need to have two numbers where when we multiply that two numbers we should get the answer minus 18, and when you add that two numbers you should get the answer as plus 7, and that is possible with what numbers? So if I say to get 7, I can get 7 by 5 plus 2 is equal to 7, but 5 into 2, this is equal to 10. So this is not the right combination. So again, what are the various ways through which we can get the product as minus 18 and the sum as plus 7? So if I say 4 plus 3, this is equal to 7, but 4 into 3, 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12. So this is also not an good combination. Then what is the combination that we can get? So if I say 2 into 9, 2 into 9 is 18, and 2 plus 7 is 9, 2 minus 7, so 2 plus, I'm very sorry, 2 plus 7 is, it is 2 plus 9, 2 plus 9 is 11, 2 minus 7, 2 minus 9, it is 7. Yes, so we are getting the product as 18 and this as 7. So we got our numbers. So I can say 9 into 2 is 18, but we want minus, and here we are having plus. So basic rules of mathematics says if the highest number is having a positive sign, that goes over there, and the next number, if it is minus, plus 9 minus 2 is plus 7, plus into minus is minus, so 9 into 2 is 18. So we have got our two numbers. So I will further process it. So I can write it as 3x square plus 9x minus 2x minus 6. So here friends, the next step will be taking the common factor out. So I will take 3x outside, what remains inside is x plus 3. Similarly, here I will take minus 2 outside, what remains inside is x plus 3. So you can see here 3x into x, 3x square, 3x plus 3, 3x into 3, 9x. Similarly here minus 2 into x, minus 2x, and minus 2 into plus 3 is minus 6. So we have got x plus 3 and 3x minus 2. So going ahead, I can say x is equal to minus 3, or in this case 3x is equal to 2, or x is equal to 2 by 3. So this is how we have factorized a trinomial, where we have got x values. X value can be 2 by 3 or it can be minus 3. So friends, with this we have come to an end of our topic, that is factoring polynomials. So once you understood factoring, it becomes easy for us in our classes, in our next classes when we will be solving equations with regard to economics. In economics, whenever we are having cost function, production function, utility function, there we need to know about factoring these polynomials. So friends, with this I have completed polynomials. In my next class, we will try to understand about equations and functions, and till then, take care, bye bye, and thank you very much for being with me and watching my videos, Understanding Economics with Professor.